All Elite Wrestling launched 5 years ago, 10 days ago on this day. And for nearly 3 years, it was everything that it was meant to be. It was an alternative to WWE. You know, the old Vince McMahon style of WWE was outdated, it was boring, it was bland, bar a few moments, such as, the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 36, the Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36, Roman Reigns' heel turn. It was very bland. And AEW was completely different to that. It was exciting, it was something that everyone enjoyed. But over the past few years, there have been a number of issues from AEW. And here is the main one. For me, undoubtedly, the biggest issue with All Elite Wrestling over the last 2 to 3 years has been the backstage drama and all this petty bullshit that's been going on when you look at it between CM Punk, The Elite, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Andrade, Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho. It just is incredible the amount of backstage issues you can have when this is meant to be the second biggest wrestling company in the entirety of America and in the world. But the problem is that Tony Khan's sheer denial to do anything about it, like the point I always go to is you look at CM Punk's media scrum at All Out 2022. Now, if the Elite did leak that CM Punk tried to get Colt Cabana fired because he didn't like him, whether that's true or not, they shouldn't be saying it when they're EVPs of the company. But even bigger than that, during that entire rant, Tony Khan is sat right next to him and does nothing about it. If that was Vince McMahon, he would tell Punk to shut up. He'd get fired for it. As much as I love CM Punk, there is not a doubt in my mind he should have been fired after the All Out 2022 press conference. But the issue that created that for nearly 2 years was that Punk was given special treatment to the point where they had to make an entire show just for CM Punk being AEW Collision. And every week you'd hear, oh, this person's been banned, Punk wants to work with this person. It just seemed like he had too much control of the company. And then obviously when the whole thing at All in London was, Jack Perry using real glass, the whole Cry Me a River thing, obviously Punk, got Jungle Boy was poking the bear, and Punk, bit at him, which any normal human would. Then he lunges at Tony Khan. It's like he wants to be one of the boys, not a boss. Whereas Vince, as much as creative was awful, was a boss and not as well as a friend. Tony Khan doesn't use the idea of being a boss. The other issues, Tony Khan is the main problem with AEW, because you look at how he's handled certain situations. The Chris Jericho thing, whether he's guilty or not, he should be suspended, not fired. I don't think Chris Jericho should be fired because there's no evidence to prove that did happen, the whole thing with Kylie Ray. But he should at least be suspended until he's proven innocent. Tony Khan, on Dynamite on Wednesday, was playing Judas whilst the beatdown was happening in the ring, simply so that the boos weren't as loud. That is a pathetic thing to do, and it is near on disgusting for him to do that when he knew the entire time what had gone on, and he just covered it up and covered it up and covered it up. It is an absolute joke. But my biggest issue with AEW that isn't Tony Khan is the just constant digs and shots at WWE. It isn't cool, it's not funny, it's lost all its spark. When you'd hear the best one, I think was on the second episode of Dynamite in 2019, and you hear the crowd start to chant "We the People" at Jake Hager. Jericho then goes, "Stupid idea from bad creative." That's funny because he's playing up to the crowd. When you get Tony Khan's rants on Twitter about Jinder Mahal, and then you have him saying Shawn Michaels won't win Booker of the Year because they put The Undertaker and Cody Rhodes on NXT, it just shows this level of pettiness and desperation. And it is just outrageous when this is a man who has millions of dollars and instead of pumping more money in to fix his company, just wants to complain and bash. And here's the thing, AEW does not get through an entire show without at least mentioning WWE once. Not by name, obviously, they've done that a few times, but will not get through it without making some kind of dig or innuendo. Whereas WWE, you never hear them mention AEW, and if they do, it's very rarely, and most of the time it's them clapping back at AEW, which they should do, because they didn't start this thing with WWE. AEW did. Tony Khan sees this as a full-on war. You know, Triple H is laughing at him, most likely. You know, when he pulls out CM Punk, it's a joke. Like, AEW, they will be fine, but I personally think Tony Khan will not be in AEW within 3 years. I'm going to throw that bold claim out there now, because I don't think, I think the shows are good, but not as good as what people think. They are okay, they're serviceable, they're watchable. I don't watch AEW weekly. I did in the pandemic era, that was really good, I really enjoyed it. I stopped probably around the time crowds came back. I don't know, I'm always casually watching it, but I never actually will watch the shows live because of Tony Khan, because it's not interesting anymore. It's not that hot indie promotion that NXT in 2018 was. It just isn't. I don't think it's that good, to be honest. It's a 5 out of 10 show every week. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down in the comments section below. What is your biggest issue with AEW? Is Tony Khan the right man to take AEW forward? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Sorry I've been inactive for so long. A video will be coming up on the Royal Rumble the day before. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.